Welcome to the ItthiJit Podcast. I am YARATA. I am not a guru. I am a producer. And my instrument is the human mind. We often think meditation is about sitting still and doing nothing. But what if I told you that your brain is like a machine that needs tuning? In this episode, I have commissioned an advanced AI to analyze my ItthiJit system. They are going to decode the science behind mantra frequencies and Human Pulsecore and explain exactly how sound frequencies can physically rewire your nervous system. This is not magic. This is audio engineering for your soul. Let's dive in.
I have a question for you, and I want you to, really sit with it for a second. If you could open up your brain, like the hood of a car, and just listen to the engine right now, what would it sound like?
That is a dangerous question for a Tuesday morning.
Right. Because if you're anything like me, or, let's be honest, probably 99% of the people listening, it does not sound like a well-oiled machine. It sounds like a traffic jam.
Yeah.
It's the to-do list. It's the replay of that awkward conversation from 3 years ago, the news notifications. It's just static.
That's the perfect description of modern cognitive load.
Yeah.
We're living in an era of just constant input.
We call it multitasking, but it really feels like having 30 browser tabs open, maybe 3 of them are frozen, and you have no idea which one is playing that annoying background music.
And the result of that isn't just being busy. It's a scattered, chaotic internal state. We are mentally noisy.
Exactly. And usually when we try to fix this, when we try to focus, we think the answer is silence. We buy the noise-canceling headphones, we look up retreats in the mountains, we think the cure for noise is just the absence of sound. But we're looking at a stack of research today that suggests we might have that whole equation backwards.
Right. The premise here is that silence isn't the tool you use to fix a broken engine. You need a mechanic. And in this case, the mechanic uses sound.
We are doing a deep dive into something called the ItthiJit system. So first off, let's get the pronunciation right. It's ItthiJit, with the stress on the jit.
ItthiJit. Got it.
And it claims to be a system of mind power. Now, I'll be honest, when I first saw that phrase, my skepticism radar went way off. It sounds a little comic book.
It does. It has a mystical ring to it. But as we started digging into the materials, specifically the work of its creator, YARATA, the picture changes. It feels less magic spell and more like audio engineering.
That's YARATA. His full name is Rewat Bunyaratafan. And this guy isn't your typical guru sitting on a mountaintop. He's a producer.
And that distinction is crucial. Rewat Bunyaratafan approaches the mind the way a high-level producer approaches a mixing board.
Okay, I like that.
If a track sounds muddy, you don't just turn the volume down, you eject the frequencies, you equalize it, you bring up the bass, cut the treble.
So his mission with ItthiJit is to fuse that magical feeling of ancient mind training with the hard science of sound healing.
Exactly. So the goal here isn't just relaxation. It's not just about chilling out.
No, and that's a huge point. The source material is very clear. ItthiJit is not passive. It is training the mind.
The goal is to awaken what they call inner power, to create a mind that's resilient. It's about building a brain that can handle all those browser tabs without crashing, not just closing them all and hiding.
Okay, so let's look at the blueprint. How does a producer tune a human brain? Because if I tell my boss I'm humming for success, I'm going to get a weird look.
You might.
But the system relies on 3 pretty solid scientific principles. The first one is sympathetic resonance. Now, I remember this from high school physics with the tuning forks. You hit one, the other one starts to vibrate. But I am not a tuning fork. I am a person. How does this apply?
Well, you're not a metal fork, no, but you are about 70% water, and water is an incredibly efficient conductor of sound, way better than air.
Okay, I follow that.
So think about throwing a rock into a pond. You see the ripples, right? They move physically through the water. The theory here is that because we're basically vessels of water, our cells are constantly vibrating.
And when we're stressed or noisy, those vibrations are chaotic.
They're dissonant. It's like an orchestra warming up where everyone is playing a completely different song.
Oh, that's a great image.
Sympathetic resonance here means introducing a specific, orderly frequency, a strong, dominant rhythm. And because of the physics of water, your cells naturally want to entrain or match that frequency.
Like when you're walking next to someone and you just unconsciously start walking in step with them.
Exactly like that. The sound pulls your biology back into rhythm.
So it's not just that I hear the sound and feel nice. The sound is physically bullying my cells back into order.
Bullying is a harsh word, but yes, in a way, it's a physical interaction, not just an auditory one, which leads directly to the second principle, brainwave entrainment. This is all about shifting gears.
And we've touched on this before, the different states of the brain.
Right. Most of us, we spend our days in beta, high frequency, alert, stressed. It's great for escaping a tiger, but it's terrible for creative work or for healing.
Right.
The ItthiJit system uses specific sound layers to drag that frequency down first to alpha, which is that relaxed flow state, and then down into theta.
And theta is the deep stuff.
Theta is deep meditation. It's that twilight state, right between being awake and asleep. And the research is really clear on this. That's where the body's self-healing mechanisms kick in. You literally cannot heal physically or mentally when you are stuck in beta.
So the sounds is the elevator that takes you down to the basement where the maintenance crew works.
That's a perfect way to put it.
But there's a third principle here, and this one felt the most, actionable to me. It involves the vagus nerve.
This is the bridge. This connects the woo-woo to the biology. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your autonomic nervous system. It's the superhighway that controls your rest and digest functions.
And it runs right past your vocal cords.
It does. And this is where the humming comes in, right? Because the system isn't just about listening passively. You have to participate.
Correct. The core innovation here is something they call the Human Pulsecore. It's a specialized humming track.
And when you hum, a deep chest resonating hum, not just singing, you are physically vibrating your vagus nerve.
It's like an internal massage.
It is. That vibration sends a signal straight to your brain. We are safe.
Wow.
It forces the parasympathetic nervous system to activate. It drops your cortisol, boosts your immunity. You're literally using your own voice to hack your stress response.
Okay, so let's dig into this Human Pulsecore track.
Yeah.
Ray YARATA calls it the core innovation. Is it just a drone sound? Why is it engineered so specifically?
Because of the ego.
The ego. The part of me that is currently worrying about whether or not I sound smart enough on this recording.
The very same. The system says the ego acts like a bouncer at the door of your subconscious. It loves the status quo.
Even if the status quo is miserable and stressed.
Yes, because it's familiar, so it protects it. If you try to just relax, the ego fights back. It reminds you of your emails. It creates distractions.
So the Pulsecore is designed to distract the bouncer.
It's designed to bypass him entirely. The track has this 3-stage structure that mirrors a psychological breakthrough. Stage 1 is cracking the shell, or the break.
The break? That sounds a little aggressive for a meditation track.
It has to be. The sources describe the stage as using intense vibration to shake off the rigid patterns of stress. You can't just gently ask a wall to fall down. You have to vibrate it until it cracks. It disrupts the ego's grip.
Okay, so you start by shaking the house. Then what?
Then you hit stage 2, soothing the mind, the lull. Once that shell is cracked and the ego's a little disoriented, the track shifts. It becomes comforting. It signals safety to that exposed subconscious. This is where you prep the mind for reprogramming.
And then the finale.
Stage 3, deepening, entering the core. This guides the mind into what they call the void.
Whoa, the void. That sounds a little terrifying. You stare into the void and it stares back. That whole thing.
In this context, though, the void is an empty space. It's a space of pure potential, the 0 point.
Like a vacant lot.
Exactly. If you want to build a new building, you have to start with a vacant lot. The void is that. It's where you generate pure energy from your center, free from the old patterns you just broke.
I like that analogy a lot. It's not a black hole. It's a clean slate. Okay, so the Pulsecore is the technique, the humming, the breaking, the entering. But Ray YARATA also provides a toolkit to fill that clean slate. These are the mantra frequencies.
Right. And there are 10 of them, based on Solfeggio Frequencies. And when you look at the list, it can feel a little overwhelming, like a menu at the Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
But they actually follow a very logical hierarchy. They're like a ladder.
Okay, let's climb a ladder. I think it helps to group them. The bottom rungs seem to be strictly physical. We're in the body shop.
Exactly. You start at the foundation. So 174 hertz is the pain shield. Think of this as a natural anesthetic.
Okay.
The claim is that this frequency vibrates at a level that encourages the release of physical pain, of tension. It grounds the body.
And right above that is 285 hertz, the regeneration code.
This one's about structure. It's designed to instruct the body to heal tissues, internal organs. So if 174 is stopping the pain signal, 285 is the crew coming in to fix the drywall and the plumbing. It's cellular repair.
Okay, body's fixed. But I can be physically healthy and still be an emotional wreck. So the next rung is the emotional hard drive.
And this is where it gets really interesting for modern life. We have 396 hertz, which is liberation. This frequency targets fear and guilt.
Guilt is such a heavy, sticky emotion. It just sits in your stomach.
And that's why it's a low frequency. It anchors you. 396 hertz is designed to dissolve that anchor, to turn that negative weight into courage. And right next to it, you have 417 hertz, clearing the path.
I call this the clear browser history button for your mind.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's about wiping out negative energy, mental debris. If you feel stuck in a loop, a bad relationship pattern, a negative thought spiral 417 hertz is the frequency of change. It breaks the cycle.
So we've repaired the body, we've wiped the emotional cache. Now we move up to what I see as the connection tier. And this includes the most famous frequency on the internet, 432 hertz.
Ah, the golden frequency. You see this one everywhere.
Why is that? Is it just a trend?
Well, there's a belief that it's the heartbeat of nature. Mathematically, it's said to be consistent with the vibrational patterns of the universe. The ItthiJit system uses 432 hertz for universal harmony.
So lining your personal rhythm with the natural world.
Exactly. It's the antidote to anxiety. It's the difference between the sound of a fluorescent light and the sound of the ocean.
Makes sense.
And in this same tier, we also have 528 hertz, the miracle repair, sometimes called the love frequency.
The claims here are bold. Revitalizing life energy, repairing DNA.
They are bold. And then there's 639 hertz, the connection bridge.
The relationship one.
Yes. It focuses on interpersonal connection, healing broken bonds, opening up communication. It's about harmonizing your frequency with other people.
Which brings us to the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
The penthouse. The spiritual tier.
This is for high-level functioning. You have 741 hertz, awakening and detox. But this isn't physical detox, it's mental detox. Clearing the fog so you can solve complex problems.
Then 852 hertz, the intuition awakener.
Right, seeing through illusions, trusting your gut.
And finally, 963 hertz.
The divine connection, the God frequency. This is the peak. This is the goal of the ItthiJit training. It's said to stimulate the pineal gland, the third eye, to connect with universal consciousness. This is where you enter the ItthiJit state.
Okay, so when you look at this whole system, from humming to break your own ego, to tuning your liver with 285 hertz, to connecting with the universe at 963, it's incredibly comprehensive. But I want to bring this back down to earth for a second.
Sure.
Why does this matter to the person driving to work right now? Why should they care about tuning their cells?
Because of that noise we talked about at the very beginning, so what here is really about resilience. The ItthiJit system isn't suggesting you need to become a monk.
Right.
It suggests that your mind is an instrument, and currently, for most of us, it's out of tune.
And playing an out-of-tune instrument is exhausting.
It is. It takes so much more energy to get through the day when you're fighting your own internal static. Rewat YARATA's vision is that a trained mind, one that's been tuned using these physical principles of sound, operates with more power and less friction.
It's efficiency.
It is. It's the ability to command success in your work, in your life, because you aren't leaking energy on stress or guilt. You've tightened the bolts. You've optimized the engine.
It's just a fascinating blend of the technical and the abstract. I mean, we're talking about vagus nerves and hertz, which are biological facts right alongside the void and the ego, which are psychological concepts.
And I think that hybrid approach is why it's gaining traction. YARATA engineered this for the modern world. He knows we need the magic to feel inspired, but we need the science to actually flip the biological switches in our nervous system.
We use tools to optimize everything else in our lives, our phones, our cars, our diets. It makes sense that we'd need a toolkit for the frequencies inside our heads.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, if you can tune a guitar, you can tune a human.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today, from the water in our cells all the way up to the frequency of the universe. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought. It's something that really hit me while we were prepping.
Go for it.
We spent all this time talking about how specific, designed, sounds like 528 hertz, or that deep hum can repair our DNA, lower our cortisol, and essentially heal us.
Right. Sound is medicine.
Exactly. But if sound can be medicine, what is the untuned noise of our daily environment doing to us? The construction outside your window, the specific pitch of a siren, the drone of the office air conditioner, the chaos of a busy store. If the right sound tunes us up,
then the wrong sound is actively tearing us down.
is the soundtrack of your daily life making you sick? I think that's a question worth sitting with.
It certainly is.
That's it for this deep dive into the ItthiJit system. Go find some good frequencies, and we'll see you next time.
And that is the science of ItthiJit. But here is the truth. Understanding the theory is not enough. You need to experience the vibration. You just listened to this on a streaming platform, but did you know that streaming compresses the audio? It cuts out the vital frequencies that your cells need to heal. If you are serious about training your mind, don't settle for the compressed version. I have prepared the master file, .wave, of the mantra frequencies and Human Pulsecore for you. It is uncompressed, raw, and full of power, exactly as I engineered it in the studio. Search YARATA Ko-Fi on Google or go to the link in the description to my Ko-Fi shop. Download the master file, put on your best headphones, and start the real training. Don't just listen. Evolve. This is YARATA. See you in the next frequency.